Mom, do you have a minute? There's something I've been dying to tell you about work.
Work? Again? Zara, when will you learn that there's more than spreadsheets and reports to life?
It's not just any news, Mom. They're making me branch chief.
Branch chief? You? But how?
I know, right? Huge deal. I thought you might be proud. After all, I'm only in my 30s, and a woman in this position?
Proud? Is that all you care about? Bragging rights? What's this promotion you're supposed to get? A bigger check to send to your loving mother?
Mom, no. That's not it at all. I was just excited, so I wanted to share good news.
Good news? Honey, I'm in my book, and good news is finding a decent man and settling down. Look at Millie, bless her heart. Married a doctor, has a beautiful child.
Mom, please. I apologize if this bothers you, but you don't have to say things like that to me.
When I compare you to your sweet little sister Millie, I can't help but feel embarrassed for you.
But Mom, that's not fair. I've worked incredibly hard my whole life.
If you want to talk about working hard, then why don't you do what Millie did and find a nice man to settle down with? She did. She married a doctor, you know. And now she has my sweet little angel. Unlike you. Well, at least I could feel good knowing that I have one good daughter.
Yes, Mom. I know that Millie has gotten married for some reason. You think that you have to remind me every single time that we talk.
Well, maybe you should realize that I only do so because I want you to learn from her. I mean, surely there must be a couple of rich men around the office who you could see yourself marrying, no?
Mom, if I get married, I don't want it to be just for my husband's money. I want something deeper and more fulfilling than that.
Oh, please. We all know it's just an excuse that you give everyone. We both know that you're just too ugly to actually land anybody worthwhile. Honestly, sometimes I really do wonder how a gorgeous woman such as myself was able to give birth to such a little gremlin. I mean, even Millie took after me and got my looks. I guess they must have just skipped over you.
Mom, why do you always have to compare the two of us? Dad never did that. He never tried to make us compete and loved us both equally.
Well, no wonder he did. I'm sure he saw your ugly father and your ugly self in the time he had to look at your ugly face.
Seriously? Dad wasn't even ugly. Sure, he wasn't a model, but he certainly wasn't unattractive. Besides, you were the one who married him. What does that say about you? And why do you think it's okay to speak about your husband that way?
Zara, I married your father because he was a senior manager at a prosperous firm. Amongst his friends, his salary was unmatched.
Do you not see the problem with describing your marriage like a business deal?
Why does that matter how I talked about it? The old geezer isn't around to hear me anyway. His life insurance policy made living on my own easy. But even that money's drying up. Why couldn't he have sprung for the deluxe plan? At least that would have brought me more time without work.
Mom, didn't you spend most of Dad's money on gambling and slot machines? He worked so hard to provide for us.
That's right. You and your father share one thing, being good for work and nothing else. Starting work for my sake, too. Find a rich man to settle down with. Then maybe I'll change my mind about you.
But Mom, how can you call me useless? Since Dad died, I've been sending you money every month.
Expecting gratitude for doing your duty as the oldest child. Give me a break.
No, Mom, it's not about gratitude. I just don't think it's fair to call me useless.
You're pathetic, Zara, just like your father. He complained too, and he was making so much money. I'm your poor widowed mother. Now you expect me to grovel for some spending?
I find it hard to pity you. You didn't even seem that upset after Dad died. You were relieved, especially once you realized the insurance payout.
So what if I was? It's none of your business. Your father was older, and he knew he'd go first. His nurse was just to please you since he knew you'd be upset.
What do you mean he thought that I would be upset?
Well, that's just how he was. You know how much you were always trying to watch over him and make sure he was taking care of his health like the worrywart you are. When you suggested to him that he get a live-in nurse, he basically agreed for your sake.
Well, I only suggested it because you seem to have zero interest in making sure that he was taken care of at home after his health started declining, Mom.
That kind of work really doesn't suit me. I didn't marry her dad so that in the future I would have to take care of some dod-zarag old man. I'm sorry, but that's just not for me.
Even after all the hard work that Dad put in to make sure that you never wanted for anything? How can you talk about the man that you married like that? I'm sure if he could hear what you were saying right now, that he would be rolling in his grave.
Well, then I guess it's good timing that he's dead and neither of us have to worry about him anymore.
Mom, please. How can you say something like that? That's awful.
The only awful thing around here is your face, Zara. If you really want to make me happy that badly, then go find a rich man who will settle for someone like you. Make him yours. You know, I can't even stand looking at you because you look so much like him. You just remind me of what a disappointment he was. Zara, are you there? I'm messaging you to tell you that I've changed my mind and I don't want to come over today.
What? Why not? What happened?
Well, your sister recently messaged me. She's coming home for a visit soon. She's such a good girl, always checking up on her mom.
Yeah, that's great.
She worries about me, you know, since I live alone.
Oh, really? Is that what's going on?
She's such a sweet girl, an angelic face and a pure heart. The perfect daughter.
But that doesn't explain why I can't come over as planned.
Because I don't want you interfering with my perfect daughter's reunion. The energy just won't be right if you're there. Two beautiful people together create harmony, and your presence would disrupt that.
What does that even mean? I've never heard anyone say that. Do you genuinely believe that, Mom?
I don't believe it, Zara. I know it. Maybe if you were prettier, you'd understand, but you aren't.
Well, okay. If you don't want me to visit, I'll stay away. No problem.
Thank you. You should have just said you understood. Besides, when you're here, you touch and move things. It drives me crazy. Like digging through my fridge and tossing out perfectly good food.
It's not good food, Mom. I check because there are always expired items. You could get sick. Some of those smells hit me when I open the fridge.
Don't open it then. I mostly have food delivered. Eating out doesn't add up that much.
But what about cleaning the house? It's been a mess since Dad passed away.
You're overdramatic. It just needs occasional cleaning. It's not as bad as you say.
Well, if you think so, fine. But maybe you should clean too.
Of course not. Who are you again? Why am I messaging you?
Seriously? I can't believe this.
What's the matter? Did you think I considered us family?
Do you even consider us family? So I'm not your daughter anymore?
Me and you? You're nothing to me. Besides, you don't even look like us. No one would think we're related.
How can you say something so cruel? I've been supporting you since Dad died.
Oh, please, how long will you hold that over my head? $2,000 a month isn't much.
Are you kidding? Complaining about what I send you?
It's too little. $2,000 barely lasts a week. Pretty people like Millie and me live differently.
Really? Do they?
Yes, her husband even promised lifelong financial support. It's more than you can afford.
I see. You and Millie have more in common then.
Exactly. We're perfect. So she's settled with a rich man. I don't need you. We've outlived your usefulness.
Is that how you feel? I don't know what I did to deserve this.
You're nothing. I don't need you around. You remind me of your father. I won't deal with you anymore.
Mom, please. Listen to what you're saying.
Just looking at your face makes me sick. It always has. Every time I look at that hideous mug, it seriously made me wonder how I can give birth to a daughter like you. If it wasn't for me who had to carry you in the first place, I would have doubted that you were my daughter.
So, then you've always felt this way about me? You've always hated me this much? I don't know what to say anymore.
Well, it is about time that you finally realized it, to be honest. Honestly, I knew you were ugly, but now I guess I can add stupid and slow to your list of traits, huh? I only have one daughter, and her name's Millie. I don't need or want you anymore, Zara.
Well, fine then. If that is really how you feel, then that's just fine. Mom, I get it.
What do you get? Don't pretend like you understand anything about me. What, are you gonna cut me off or something? Stop talking to me entirely? Go ahead. I've been waiting for the day when you would finally cut yourself out of my life.
I've worked so hard for you for so long, and the whole time I told myself that I was doing it for my family. For my mother.
Ugh, why do you always have to be so depressing, huh? Besides, this isn't even about you. I already explained that I don't need you or your help anymore.
Okay, fine. I get it.
Oh, good. Now leave me alone. What's wrong with you? Why haven't you sent me this month's payment? I checked the ATM, the money still isn't there.
Huh?
Don't play stupid with me, young lady. I'm talking about the money you owe me for this month. That's the bare minimum you could do for me, so get on it. You're already late sending it. Don't make me wait any longer. Send me that money right now.
Why should I have to send you money?
Why? Just who do you think you are? It's your duty to send me that money. You have to.
Duty? How do you figure that? I really don't see it that way.
What's gotten into you? What are you talking about?
I am saying that I will not be sending you money anymore.
What? I don't understand. Did you lose your job or something?
No, I still have my new job. I told you I got promoted. It's just that you said $2,000 a month was hardly anything to you. Even though I budget really carefully to be able to send you that much. Even though I've worked for almost a decade to try and provide for you. You told me that you didn't need the money anymore. In fact, you said it barely even helped you afford your essentials anyway.
Well, what? Did I say something like that?
And thank goodness that you asked me to stop. Do you know what it was like to suddenly have $2,000 a month that you never used to have before? Wait, actually, I guess you would know exactly what that is like.
I never said that. Where did you get that idea?
Your messages made it clear. Suddenly, having $2,000 a month is life-changing. You'd know, right?
No, of course I meant what I said. $2,000 is nothing to me, but I'll still take the money. I mean, after all, sending it to me is really the least you could do.
But I don't really see why I should send money to someone that I have nothing to do with. It doesn't really make sense to me.
Someone you have nothing to do with? What are you talking about? What's that supposed to mean? I am your mother.
What? But I thought you said that you don't even think of me as your daughter. Don't you remember? You told me that you hated looking at my face and didn't want me in your life anymore.
Well, yes, that's right. I don't want to deal with you ever again, but I'll take your money. After all, it isn't like they print your face on the bills or anything like that.
But you told me that you didn't need my money anymore, since Millie's rich doctor husband said that he was going to provide for you for as long as you lived. Remember?
Right. Well, the thing about that is, he forgot to bring me my money last time that he and Millie came over, so...
Oh, what? Did he really? I guess you'd better ask him to bring you double next time he comes around, huh?
I don't know. I was talking to Millie about what happened. She said they got into some kind of fight, and she didn't think he'd be bringing me anything for a little bit. So I just have to wait for them to make up. And then it's going to start rolling in. Until then, though, I need you to keep your payments up, so quit slacking.
No. Are they having some marital issues? I certainly hope that it isn't anything too serious for them. It would just be awful if they didn't make up.
That's right. Now hurry up and pay me what you owe me. I haven't got all day, Zara.
No, I'm fine, thanks. I don't think I would send you a single penny, even if you begged for it. I guess you'll just have to hope things go well for Millie and her husband.
Stubborn girl, just like your father. Fine, well, can you at least come by the house, please? I have some things here for you.
You want me to come by the house? And just why do you think that I would want to do that?
Well, your sister's visit turned into a bit of an extended stay. All she does is eat and sleep and leaves her garbage all over the place. Do you think you could come over and clean up the house like you used to? I could really use it.
Are you kidding me right now? No, really. Is this supposed to be some kind of joke? Why would I do something like that? Why would I go into some stranger's house and do their cleaning for them? What do you think I am, some kind of maid or something like that?
But I was just...
Well, you just used to is all. By the way, if you want my perspective, I don't think that Millie is going to be moving out from your place anytime soon.
What? Well, what makes you say that?
Because Millie cheated on her husband and he threw her out of the house. Why do you think she has been there for so long?
What do you mean? How do you know that?
Of course, I also assume that he's going to divorce her and claim some fat alimony when it is all over.
You don't know what you're talking about. What makes you so confident all of a sudden? Millie hasn't said anything of the sort, so why should I trust you?
Well, if she told the truth about what had really happened, then you would have never let her come over to stay in the first place, right? Don't you see? Millie doesn't have anywhere else she can go right now. You were so focused on getting money from her husband that you didn't even stop to try and understand the wider picture. I mean, did you even wonder why she was going to be staying with you for so long in the first place?
No, this can't be. You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm telling the truth. Millie cheated on her husband and now the two of them are about to get divorced. Her husband came to me to talk about it in the first place. He even showed me proof that he had, which showed that Millie really was cheating. It's all true.
So she really did cheat on her husband.
That's right. But it doesn't stop there. She didn't just cheat on him. Apparently, she also racked up quite a debt on gambling. She was taking out her husband's money in secret and using it to play online poker while he was away at work. I imagine that he was probably going to be demanding that money back in divorce as well.
But he can't do that. They're married. What is his should be hers. Honestly, to divorce over something as simple as that. Sounds like her husband's just cheap and doesn't want to support his wife's family anymore.
It wasn't just the money that he put into their joint account. Millie was taken directly from his savings. The savings that he had been building up since before the two of them were married. She stole his credit card and copied down all the information so that she could use it without his permission.
I don't believe this. So then that means neither of them are going to be giving me any money anymore.
That's right. In fact, Millie is going to owe her soon-to-be ex-husband a ton, it seems. But at least you two have each other for support, right?
This isn't a joke. This is serious. This can't be happening. I don't need Millie living here with me. That kind of debt on her shoulders. A girl like that is no daughter of mine.
Aw, but I thought she was your perfect daughter. I thought that you could see so much of yourself in her. Isn't that what you said?
No, you misunderstood. I said that I had no other daughter but you, of course. I also thought of you as my daughter, Zara. So please just send me the money like you used to. And if you'd be so kind, can you make it a little more this time?
Well, you may be ready and willing to take me back as your daughter, but I have no intention of taking you back as my mother.
What are you saying? I'm your mother. Surely we can put any disagreements we've had behind us and make up, right? How about I go to your house and we could talk this out in person?
My house? And just what do you mean by that?
I mean, I'll go to wherever you're living right now. Maybe the two of us could even move in together. That way I wouldn't have to pay any rent.
And just why would I want to let you move into my house?
Well, ever since Millie came back, she hardly even leaves her room. She spends all day inside doing nothing but eating my food. Maybe this way I can just sell the house and we can live together.
It really is all about the money for you, isn't it? Well, I refuse.
But why? I don't get it.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to. Besides, I don't even live in the country anymore.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Where are you right now?
I tried telling you about my new position, but you wouldn't let me give you all the details. I wanted to mention to you how I would have the opportunity to apply to overseas positions within my company. I was actually thinking of applying for one of them, but wanted to message you first, since I was worried about how you would get along without me. But then you just kept pushing and finally started saying things like how you didn't even want me around. You said that we weren't even family anymore, and I took what you said to heart.
So then you're already living in some foreign country?
That's right. And I am much happier here than I ever was living near to you.
Well, where are you living? Must be lonely for you to have gone somewhere new all by yourself. I'll go to you and help you out. You don't have to go through this alone.
I don't really feel like telling you where I've gone to, actually. And I have no problem living on my own. You should know that about me by now. And I certainly don't want you here with me. I already know that you wouldn't bother doing any of the housework. Besides, you don't even speak the language. You would just expect me to buy and do everything for you while you leeched off of me like the parasite that you are. So now I will not be sending you any more money ever. And I certainly have no intention of ever letting you live with me. This is the happiest I've ever been in my whole life.
Well, then what about me? Am I just supposed to keep living with Millie even though she's going to have all this debt?
I don't really care what you choose to do with her. That is your business, not mine. We're not family anymore, remember? So why should I care?
Zara, how could you be so cruel to your own mother like this?
My who? Sorry, what did you just say? You're no mother of mine.
Please, enough games, just help us. You're the only one I can turn to now. At least start sending me money again, that's the least you could do.
What are you talking about? Don't you have Social Security or something?
I do, but I spend all of it every month.
Oh, wow, that sounds really rough. I guess maybe that is where Millie got all her bad saving habits from. Anyway, at least the two of you have that in common.
Please, Zara, you can't just leave us like this. You've gotta help us.
Actually, I really don't. Thanks for the suggestion, though.
Please. I apologize for everything, I swear it. Everything I've ever said up until now. I'm sorry.
It is far, far, far too late for you to try and apologize to me now.
No, it isn't too late. Don't say that, we can make up.
Alright, you don't seem to get it. I'll be leaving now.
Zara, wait. Please come back, I'm so sorry. You're all I have left in this life. You can't just abandon your mother, help me.
Millie remained holed up in Mom's house, refusing to seek work. She slept all day while Mom took multiple part-time jobs to make ends meet. Unfortunately, most of her earnings went toward paying off Millie's debts, leaving little for groceries. Mom, working tirelessly, lost weight and aged rapidly. One day, Mom sent me a desperate photo of them begging for help. I realized I'd forgotten to block her number. I soon rectified that. My overseas transfer was partly because my then fiancé worked in the same office. His wealthy investor parents were a secret. Blocking Mom spared me from her manipulations. Now, happily married, I've left my troubled past behind.